Now is the time to do your research and find some good sources. So when you do your research, I just want to give you an example. Type in keywords that you know will fit your topic, but please keep your focus question in mind as well. So if you focused on plastic pollution specifically in oceans, then include the word oceans. If you focused on it specifically in South Africa, then include the word South Africa. Anyway, when you open the search page, I just want to show you a few things to look out for. Firstly, please don't use these that say ad. You can, maybe they're good, but personally, I just scroll right past the ads and I actually use something that is not an advert. So it's not paid content. It's something that Google put on here by itself. Remember, we may not use Wikipedia because this is a platform where the community can actually contribute, so it's not professionally written articles. So the best would be to actually have a look which articles might be nice based on the title, the URL, and the short description. So this, I don't know this organization, doesn't really matter. Ooh, I know Britannica. Britannica is a very well-known encyclopedia. So if I find an article that might be useful, instead of just opening it in the same screen, I prefer to open it in a new tab so that I can open more than one and then go and look at all of them. Aquarium.co.za, okay, so that is a South African site. Maybe I want to use that. If you didn't focus your research on South Africa, then it's better not to use Africa-specific resources. Our World in Data, oh, this is an excellent site. So I can open a few sites like that. Remember, you can also use your center, the roll button on the mouse to open a link in a new tab. This then gives you a little bit of time for the information to load so that all the sites are loaded by the time you can have a look at it. You then have a read and see if this is something that you can use. Now, there are a few things you need to consider. Before looking at the actual information, is this source reliable enough? The basics will be that there is at least an author, and if there isn't an author, then the organization needs to be very reliable. It can't be a URL that states that it's a blog, for example, unless it's actually a very well-known scientist's blog, but I doubt you're going to be able to find that. You need someone, you need a name, you need a date, you need 3 sources, 2 of which are websites and 1 of which is other. So other will be something like a video, a news article, anything like that. So if you've determined that this source will be good enough, then you can have a look at the content and see if it will actually answer the questions that you've asked. Personally, I scan through the article by looking at the headings, as well as just reading the first sentence or so in each paragraph. Then I can quickly determine whether this article will work for me or not. So have a look at these sources, and remember, you need something that discusses the problem of plastic pollution, then also the community awareness, so how involved are people or something like that, and also solutions for the average person. Or how can you get involved? That's the kind of words you can use to research it. You can also use environment in all of your searches and environmental issue or solution or something like that. It will help you find good sources. So I want to show you a few different types of sources and how you will save them, and then how you can cite them and actually add them to your report. So the Britannica Encyclopedia will be an actual encyclopedia, so it counts as a website because it is online. Please note that fancy sites like this will often only allow you a few articles, or some of the articles will be locked, some of them won't be locked. Unfortunately, this free trial actually requires a credit card to sign up. So if you can't get the article for free, then I think just move on to something else. There are some really nice sources on National Geographic as well. TED Talks will be really a very good asset for you. And then you are more than welcome to just go look at regular news articles as well. But just remember, we want 3 sources. 2 must be a website, 1 must be something else. So this would count as something else because it's a news article. The video would count as something else. Some kind of booklet or brochure would count as the other type as well. I'd like to show you a quick way of researching and finding information on a specific site. So let's say you want to find something on nationalgeographic.com or on britannica.com. So then I can copy that little bit. It's actually called the domain. So if I then search something, so I tried overpopulation on Britannica. There isn't actually much. Let's see overpopulation on nationalgeographic.com. Then I type the word in Google site with a colon, and straight after that, no spaces, the actual site that I want to search. See, there it found something on news.nationalgeographic about overpopulation. It will actually then only find articles from the specific site that you specified. So if you know about a specific site like these that I've suggested that you would like to use for research, you can just include this little bit at the end, and then you can search inside that site through Google. So let's see how you can save it if you want to use this. This, by the way, is not a very good source. I'm just using it as an example. If it's actually a PDF, then you can download it straight away into your sources folder. The websites you'll probably need to print in a digital format, so there's more than one way of doing this. If you're using an updated version of Google Chrome, using the 3 dots and choosing print, please be very careful that the destination is Microsoft Print to PDF. If your classroom has printers installed, your teacher will be very upset if you print lots of pages like this, so please be careful. Try this and see whether it works in landscape or portrait. Oftentimes it's good to change the settings to not include background graphics or not include headers and footers, and see whether it works. In this instance, it didn't work nicely. It keeps the site there. Although this site seems to have a link to print it, so I can actually, oh, this is lovely. I can choose from here what I'd like to print. Wow, that's very nice. Okay, now before you press save, just make sure that you actually know who the writer is and where the URL is. Okay, it has the full URL at the bottom there. That's going to help me. And it has the author and the date that it was published. Fantastic. Then I can press print and actually save it over here. I'll just call it deforestation. I'm not going to close this because I might still need it to be able to fill in my sources table. Let's look at the video. I don't think your teacher will require you to save a copy of the video, as it'll just make all the folders and everything too big, but at least save the page and perhaps the transcript. You can get the transcript in English. That way you also have an easy readable copy if you don't have earphones or something like that. So let's try that again and see whether print works. Print in this instance I think will work fine, but I want to show you another tool that works really well. I'm going to copy this link and go to printfriendly.com. Now sometimes the site works perfectly, other times it just gives you trouble, especially if the article is very long. It does give you problems, but what I love about it is it generates a PDF friendly article and you can delete things. So everything you don't need, like unnecessary adverts or things like that, I don't need to know how many views there have been. So that actually helps a lot. Let's see. Excellent. Now it just has the information that I need. It has the URL. I think I might have deleted the date now, but okay. Anyway, you get the idea. Just be careful about what you delete, but it's nice to be able to delete unnecessary adverts and things. So then you just press PDF, make sure it's set to A4, and choose download your PDF, and you can save it under sources. Now, if you use a video, it would probably be better if you were able to watch it, especially because TED Talks often show statistics and things on the screen. But if not, you can see what you can use from the transcript anyway. If this didn't work, or if it's giving you trouble, you can also try doing the browser extension version. You can press on install browser extension. Depending on the settings at your school, it might be able to install or not. If it installed successfully, you'll see you get a little button like this, print friendly and PDF. So now, if I'm on a site like this on National Geographic, I can actually try that and just press that button straight away, and it will see it didn't work on this one. Let's try it on News 24. That worked much better. See, easy. It has just the heading, date, everything I need. And I can see here it has lots of extra stuff at the bottom that I don't need, that I can then just delete until I have just the article that I want. Alright, then I can just go to PDF and save it. Again, please leave the articles open so that you can go back to that when you want to do your references. Okay, so how am I going to get this article if I don't? Let's see, it says email, link, no. Let's see if the Google Chrome print works for this one. I'm just switching on background graphics so that the pictures also print. Okay, I think this works okay. Yes, it has some extra information in between, like these adverts, but at least I can get all the information I need. It has the full URL. This is the date that I'm accessing it. Let's see if it has a different date here anyway. It has a date in the title. Okay, so I can just go check where the article actually stops. There you go. It stops here, more on this topic. So this is page, let's see now, page 9. Here I can see it at the bottom. So I'm going to say just print page 1 to 9. 1 to 9. Print. Okay, one more trick I just want to show you. Often when you search for information online, you'll see they actually have the date of the article over there. So sometimes even if you don't see it on the page, they'll have the date there, and you can also use that to check that it's up to date and a recent source.